All right. So this news came down a couple hours ago. I already had a couple people send me this, even though I already knew what happened. Right. Look, y'all got to understand something. Whenever there is a change in the guard, like team gets a new owner, team gets a new president of basketball operations, like they did in Trajan Langdon, there's going to be massive wholesale changes, right? Typically, uh, whenever you get a new president of basketball operations, or whenever you get a new owner or a GM, that person wants to bring in their own people. They don't want any holdovers from the last regime, especially when you had the result that you had the year before. And it's not even going back the year before, it's over the past few years that the Pistons have reveled in irrelevancy. It's like they embrace this culture of losing. And then when you peel back the onion on why this team isn't performing up to standards, then it comes a result of bad drafting. You had the assistant GM of the Pistons who was getting involved in a alleged sexual harassment. Uh, you had the GM who was underperforming, right? And every desperate move that he's made to try to save his ass just hasn't panned out. It just hasn't panned out. And this is the result of years of ineptitude. And Monty Williams just happens to be collateral damage. Now, one could look at Monty Williams' situation as a head coach and look at the fact that he got a raw deal in New Orleans. 2 years after leading the Phoenix Suns to the NBA Finals, he gets fired because you got diva-esque players on that team that just doesn't want to buy in. More specifically, DeAndre Ayton, who they end up trading anyway. It was a well-documented beef between Monty Williams and DeAndre Ayton. They end up trading DeAndre Ayton anyway. But they fired Monty Williams before they got rid of DeAndre Ayton. And then DeAndre Ayton takes his bad habits to Portland. But that's another story for another day. So Monty Williams gets fired. Now, mind you, a lot of people forget Monty Williams initially turned down the offer initially to be the Detroit Pistons head coach. When the Detroit Pistons approached Monty Williams in last year, initially, he turned down the job. And then the Pistons end up doubling back and made him an offer he couldn't refuse. He ends up being the highest paid coach in the history of the NBA. So they got rid of president basketball operations after going in 14-68, right? They bring in Trajan Langdon, the Alaskan assassin. Everybody, if you know, you know. And then we see the GM Troy Weaver gets fired. And then now you see Monty Williams getting shown the door. So, needless to say, the destruction and rebuilding of the Detroit Pistons roster and this whole infrastructure is pretty much damn near complete now. So, I'm gonna read this article real quick. Detroit Pistons rebuild is getting another overhaul. The team has fired head coach Monty Williams after just one season. A league source confirmed to the Detroit News. At 14-68, the Pistons had the worst record in the NBA with Williams at the helm. Williams' 6-year deal worth about $78 million made him the highest paid coach in the league, but the results didn't translate on the court. Oh yeah, by the way, the Pistons owe him 65 million. Prior to being hired by the Pistons, Williams was NBA Coach of the Year with the Phoenix Suns, and he became the best head coaching candidate on the market after being fired by the Suns. He initially signed a 6-year deal worth 78 million with the Pistons and team owner Tom Gores. The firing leaves 5 years and more than 65 million remaining on the deal. Last month, Gores hired Transian Langdon as the new team president, looking to make extensive changes on the front office. And another thing, after Trajan Langdon was hired, Tom Gores, the owner, basically gave Trajan Langdon the power to make changes as he sees fit, which goes back to what I said initially when I started the stream. Typically, when you get a new owner or a new team president of basketball operations or whatever, they want to bring in their own people. Because if it was working beforehand, there was no need to bring in a new owner or a new president of basketball operations. Those people want to bring in their own guys. There's nothing against Monty Williams personally. I'm pretty sure Trajan Langdon has mad respect for Monty Williams. But this is a case where a reset button needs to be hit. Now, Monty Williams replaced Dwayne Casey because remember, Dwayne Casey was coaching this team for a few years after being fired from Toronto, and Dwayne Casey couldn't rekindle the magic of old. And then they end up letting him go, but then they ain't just like let him go, let him go. They end up putting him in the front office. What's up, Kid Gravity? Gideon, Josh Johnson, salute to y'all in the building. So yeah, that's what ended up happening. Before they had Monty Williams, they had Dwayne Casey. Dwayne Casey, remember Dwayne Casey was at Toronto. They fired him despite winning Coach of the Year. He ends up coaching the Pistons for a few years. It didn't work out. They move him up to the front office, and then they bring in Monty Williams. Now, mind you, as I stated before, Monty Williams initially turned down the job offer that the Pistons gave him. And then not only did he turn down the offer, the Pistons then doubled back and gave him an offer he couldn't refuse. They should get Adrian Griffin. We'll see. We shall see where they go with that. So, like I say, they gave Trajan Langdon the power to make all kinds of decisions now with the roster, right? The Pistons parted ways with Troy Weaver. That was the first shoe that dropped when Trajan Langdon came in. During Troy Weaver's tenure, the Pistons had an overall record of 74 and 244, and they hadn't made the playoffs in 5 years. The Pistons also made significant decisions to make. They also have significant decisions to make in the coming weeks. They have not introduced Langdon, and they'll have to hire a general manager and a coach, along with the draft coming next week. Matter of fact, the NBA draft is a week from today because I plan on going to the Washington Wizards draft party. So next Wednesday, I got a free ticket. The Wizards give me a free ticket. I'm in the DC area, so um I'm going to end up going to the Washington Wizards draft party. What's up, Ted? Josh Johnson, good to see y'all. This man was set up to fail by the Pistons, man. Let's just be honest. This man was set up to fail. And unfortunately for Monty Williams, despite the fact that he ended up being collateral damage, he got the stand on his resume. He got this stain on his resume, and it sucks because he's actually a good coach. He is actually a good coach. Now, from what I heard in the rumor mill, Monty Williams um is going to be pushed to become the Lakers coach from Anthony Davis. Remember, Anthony Davis um and Monty Williams were together down in New Orleans. So is Monty Williams going to be a hot coaching commodity? Probably. Probably. Um, but then again, I can see a situation where Monty Williams takes time away from basketball. That scenario is on the table also. I would not be surprised if Monty Williams took his name off of out of the coaching carousel and just takes a break from basketball. Maybe he gets hired to do commentary at a network or something. There's always that option as well. With the trauma of being fired from multiple teams in multiple years, and I just don't think he is. And then the Pistons still got to pay him. So, but the downside to that is, if you take your name out of consideration for too long, then the game will pass you by. In my opinion, if you take your name out the game for too long, then the game has passed you by. But the Pistons still owe him $65 million. So I don't understand why the Pistons will get rid of him 1 year into a 5 year, 6 year tenure. But then again, when I think about it, and when you think about the principle of when you get a new leader or a director or a project manager or something like that, they want to bring in their own guys. And Monty Williams just happened to be collateral damage. What about college? You see, you say what about college? It's unlikely Monty Williams goes to college. Not saying it's impossible, but it's unlikely he goes to college. They're gonna have to make him an offer he can't refuse because I don't see Monty Williams coaching college. I just don't, and I don't see Monty Williams taking anything less than a head coaching gig, unless it's a TV gig. It's a TV gig. I can see him taking a TV gig, just to call himself being around the game. If he decides not to coach another team, but the rumor mill is Anthony Davis is going to make a strong push to get Monty Williams on the Lakers. I personally don't want to see JJ Redick coaching the Lakers. I think that would be a complete shit show, and that's where I'm at on that. I mean, I ain't no like I said, I ain't no fan of JJ Redick being a head coach. This guy's never coached in any level, and all of a sudden now this guy is going to be the next Pat Riley. Are you fucking kidding me? Whoever said that don't need to be doing no kind of commentary nowhere. You might as well go ahead and sell some car insurance, some health insurance. Hell, there's a lot of places selling life insurance. Whoever made that comment about not Monty, JJ Redick being the next Pat Riley, are you out of your fucking mind? Whoever said that. Anyway, that's not about that's not about that. This is about this. Um, you say if the Knicks cut loose with Coach Tibbs, but the Knicks are not going to cut bait with Tom Thibodeau. So that's unlikely. Highly unlikely. Highly unlikely the Knicks cut bait with Tom Thibodeau. And hey, maybe in an alternative universe that happens, but in reality, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. But let's just say we can speculate, right? Um, One place I can see Monty Williams going if he decides to coach again, right? Somebody mentioned it in the chat room. Grizzlies, they're not firing Taylor Jenkins. He's not getting fired. Um, Talking with a well prominent NBA insider, Taylor Jenkins not getting fired from the Grizzlies. And this is with a direct. This is me talking directly to a well-known NBA insider. Taylor Jenkins not getting fired from Memphis. But there is one team though, Gideon beat me to it. It's the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think they have a better situation in Cleveland than it is in LA. Because say Monty went, and we all know the LeBron James effect. We've seen this movie play out over and over and over and over again. Yeah, the Lakers fans, and I don't even think it's the Lakers fans. I think it's the LeBron James dicklicks or whoever, right? As soon as shit goes south, and we've seen this movie play out so many times. We've seen this recently with Darvin Ham. As soon as the shit goes south, people gonna be calling for Monty Williams' firing. And then you have LeBron James dicklicks talk about, oh man, Monty Williams not using him right. Now, mind you, LeBron James is kicking down 40's door, waving the 4-4, right? But hey, he ain't used LeBron James is right. And I don't want to see Monty Williams go through another firing. All right. Man already got fired from 3 teams. He took 2 of them to the playoffs, didn't even get a chance to right the ship with the Pistons. So eh, I don't see Monty Williams going to the Lakers despite this massive push from AD. However, however, because there's always a caveat. If there's a situation where Bronny gets drafted by another team and LeBron James ends up becoming a free agent, he signs somewhere else, then I can see Monty Williams going on the Lakers. Then in that scenario right there, I can see Monty Williams going to the LA Lakers. If LeBron stays on the Lakers, Monty Williams is not going to go there. He's just not. Yep, that's unlikely too. They just brought in Doc Rivers last year. Why would they turn around and fire him? And then nah, Bucks want consistency, right? So yeah, that's you can definitely go ahead cancel that one. That's not going to happen. That's definitely not going to happen. But anyway, but Cleveland is the better situation for Monty Williams. You got a team that's ready to win, right? You got Donovan Mitchell there, and then um, you know you got team. Now there will be changes in Cleveland. Having said all that, there will be changes in Cleveland, right? Because you got apparently Darius Garland got beef with Donovan Mitchell, um, and it's not a beef from like a personal beef standpoint. I just think that you know Donovan Mitchell really commands a lion's share of the role in the offense for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and guys are unhappy with their role. That's probably part of the reason why JB Bickerstaff was let go. And I'm not. I got to look and see if JB Bickerstaff took a role on another team as an assistant. Mind you, JB Bickerstaff at one point or another was on Monty Williams' staff before he became head coach of the Cavaliers at one point. But yeah, Cleveland would be the better situation for Monty Williams. But like I say, a whole lot can play out between now and next week because that's when the NBA draft is. The NBA draft is next Wednesday. Um, what else? What else? That's all I got for now. That's all I got for now, barring some other major breaking news. That's all I got for now. But yeah, man, it's unfortunate that Monty Williams got the short end of the stick again. Um, Look, Ted, as far as the Wizards go, man, I don't know what they're doing. But then again, they don't know what they're doing. They just hired Brian Keefe, and I wanted to do a video about that hiring or whatever. But it's like they, they just stay sucking, bro. And DC deserves better than that. But anyway, let me know what y'all think about this, man. Once again, for those of you who may not be aware, uh, the Pistons fired Monty Williams this morning, and this overhaul that the Pistons got going on. Yeah, you were right. I said Ted, it was Brian Keefe, right? A guy that they had replaced uh Wes Unseld Jr. Wes Unseld Jr. got moved to the front office, and now he's an assistant with Billy Donovan. And Billy Donovan's on the hot seat next year. Y'all heard it here first. Billy Donovan is on the hot seat next year. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they start off slow, that he ends up being one of the first coaches getting fired. Y'all heard it here first. But anyway, if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. If you want to donate to my YouTube channel, my Cash App, PayPal is on the bottom of the screen and on the ticker. Shouts out to the Lions Den basketball community. This your man. Scream at me. Hurt!